What can be done? It's up to you. Prabhupada says that uh, somebody is owner of this world, and you don't know who is the owner, but there must be some owner. So you don't know, but we know. We know from Gita, we know from Bhagavatam, we know from Acharyas that Krishna is owner of everything. So we accept that because Krishna is claiming and all the Acharyas are telling. So we accept that. But you don't have any claim. So in the absence of your claim, why did you accept the claim of Krishna and all his pure devotees? Prabhupada says in a lecture like that. So let's go further. So he says, uh, in the Kena Upanishad, it is stated as Supreme Brahman is the rest for everything. And Krishna has already explained that everything is resting on him. The Mundaka Upanishad confirms that the Supreme Lord, in whom everything is resting, can be realized only by those who engage constantly in thinking of him. This constant thinking of Krishna is Smaranam, one of the methods of devotional service. It's only by devotional service to Krishna that one can understand his position and get rid of this material body. So this constant thinking of Krishna is the most important essence of devotional service. Though it is written one of the method, but actually that's the essence because that is there, no? That always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That is called golden rule of bhakti. So all our attempt, chant, read here is actually, we want to think of Krishna. Man manaba madbhakto madhyati mam namaskaru. That verse also says. So that is how a devotee is performing devotional service because it all leads to smaranam. Though we hear chant, then smaranam becomes natural as you hear and chant. So Shavanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. So that remembrance is there of the Lord. That also is there. No? Antikale cha mame vasmaran muktva kalevram. There also smaran is told. No remembering the Lord at the time of death. That remembrance is verified. And remembrance is the essence. Meaning always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. As I said, this is a golden rule of bhakti. But we remember in a mood to serve. No? Right? That's why Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. Anyabhilasita Shunyam Gyan Karma Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. So, in an Anukul way to remember because even Hiranyakashipu was remembering, but or Kamsa was remembering. But Kamsa was remembering in envious way. Shishupal was remembering in envious way. So that is not bhakti. But that is also auspicious though. Because that kind of any kind of remembrance of the Supreme Lord is auspicious. That in fact Shishupal and Kamsa, they also got freed from such sinful reactions because they were remembering Krishna even though unfavorably. But we want to remember Krishna in favorable way. So favorably remembering Krishna is bhakti. The desire to serve him and please him. This constant thinking of Krishna is Pranam, one of the methods of devotional service. It is only by devotional service to Krishna that one can understand his position and get rid of the material body. In the way that the Supreme Lord is accepted as the purest of the pure. One who understands that Krishna, the purest of the pure, can become purified from all sinful activities. So we should, when we are chanting, we should know that I am associating with the purest of the pure. And that's why our heart also becomes purified when we connect to Krishna. So one cannot be disinfected from sinful activities unless he surrenders into the Lord. Yeah, because without Krishna, our life is subjected to so much of contamination. But when you connect with Krishna, the supremely pure, then you can remain pure. That's why it is said that because pure devotees are always remembering Krishna, they're always carrying Krishna in their heart. That's why they are always purified. They're always pure then. So no contamination of this world will touch them. But as soon as you forget Krishna, you stop chanting, you stop reading, stop hearing. Krishna is not there in your heart much. Then immediately so much of contamination you will find. You will be so much contaminated with so many things. So that's why bring Krishna in your heart. That we have to do. When we bring Krishna in our heart, then all kinds of contamination will go away. So one cannot be disinfected from sinful activities unless he surrenders unto the Supreme Lord. Arjuna's acceptance of Krishna, the Supreme Pure, complies with the injunctions of Vedic literature. So this is also confirmed by great personalities of Narada Rishi. Then he says, Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead, and one should always meditate upon him and enjoy one's transcendental relationship with him. So all of us have our relationship with Krishna now. Right now, we may not be revealing, we may not have the revelation of what exactly is my relationship in Golok Vrindavan with the Supreme Lord. But at least we know that we have a relationship of love as part and parcel of Krishna. So at least we should remember this, that I'm servant of Krishna, because that's the actual relationship between the Jiva and the Lord. Now, Rasa may be whatever, but ultimately we are servants of Krishna. So that we should always remember. One should always remember, meditate upon Krishna, enjoying one's transcendental relationship with him. That means we are all as servitude, as a servant of Krishna. We should enjoy that relationship. Meaning we should serve Krishna, and by that be very happy. So we carry so much of idea about so many relationships in this world, no? So we try to think about so many varieties of relationships in this world. But our real relationship is with Krishna only. And all other people are related via Krishna, not without Krishna. So Krishna is the central pivot of any relationship in this world also. So we are connected with anybody in this world through Krishna only. So first our responsibility is to have relationship with Krishna and be nice. Sometimes people can suffer so much of relationship conflicts and this and that. One of the angle to think about is we have so much of relationship issues because our relationship with Krishna is not very strong. When relationship with Krishna becomes very strong, then you know how to deal with all the negativities also nicely. That's why you see pure devotees can have very friendly relationship with everyone, even with his enemy also. If somebody is envious, pure devotee can be sympathetic and can deal nicely with everybody. He knows how to deal with everyone. So why that kind of relationship? Why pure devotee is able to do that? Because he has very good relationship with Krishna. There is a supreme existence. He is free from bodily needs, birth, and death. Not only does Arjuna confirm this, but all the Vedic literatures. So Krishna does not have any kind of bodily needs, birth, and death. He is the supreme existence. Not only Arjuna confirms all the Vedic literatures, Purana histories. So Krishna is described in all the Vedic literatures, and the Supreme Lord himself also says that I appear on this earth to establish religious principles. He is the supreme origin. He has no cause, for he is the cause of all causes. And everything emanating from him, his perfect knowledge can be had by the grace of Supreme Lord. So he has no cause, but he is the cause of all causes. So Arjuna expresses himself through the grace of Krishna. If you want to understand Gita, we should accept the statements in these two verses. When these two verses, if you accept, then you can understand Bhagavad Gita. That means you accept Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead, then you can understand Bhagavad Gita. This is called Parampara system, acceptance of the disciple succession. So, disciple succession means very simple. You hear the knowledge and accept it. If you don't accept it, then you remain asar. Unless one is in disciple succession, you cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. It is not possible by so-called academic education. Unfortunately, despite so much evidence in the Vedic literature, those proud of their academic education stick to their obstinate conviction that Krishna is an ordinary person. That is the plight. The Prabhupada writes in that, 2.72. See, Prabhupada writes. What he writes? It's a matter of acceptance. Like it says here, one can attain Krishna consciousness of the divine life at once, within a second, or one may not attain such a state of life, even after millions of births. It is only a matter of understanding and accepting the fact. See? So if you can accept the parampara's knowledge and believe in it and trust, and with full heart you take it and practice it, the life is perfect. But if you don't want to, just remain puffed up. So why we don't accept? Because of their puffed up nature only. Krishna gives different reasons. Mm. He says that stubborn obstinacy. He says stubborn. I'll tell you in this verse why some people don't accept Krishna. Say that this. There's a class of men who are always reluctant to accept Lord. It's partially to their poor fundamental knowledge and partially to their stubborn obstinacy. Says. In Gita also it is there. It's there in 9th chapter. What is spelling? Correct. Basically, Ashwatthana, that one. Mm. Mm. Not able to locate it, sorry. Let me put one there. Read the chapter. This one. 9.3, sorry, yeah. It says, those who are not faithful in devotional service cannot attain new means. Therefore, return to the path of birth and death and material world. Ashadhana Purusha Dharmasya Parantapa. Aprapya. So those are not faithful. But there is another verse actually, which no, there is one more verse. Okay, maybe tomorrow I'll show you. So I'm not able to look at one more verses there. It talks different varieties of people, like how they may be practicing, but still they don't carry faith. I think this only. No, no. Of course, yeah. Yeah, I think maybe this. He said those who have no faith, even after hearing about Krishna. And that's another reason we would think that simply eulogy, find the path very difficult to say. The reasons also say. Unfortunately, people, even after hearing all evidence of very good from their person, still they have no faith in God. Hesitant cannot stay fixed. Anyway, I'll see if there is one more verse where he talks, Prabhupada says about the stubborn obstinacy. Of course, we read that point also. Let us pause here. Jai Kantra Srimad Bhagavata Ki Jai, Jai Gautama.